Before you sign on any new construction home in Covington, there are a few things that buyers consistently get wrong, and if you don't understand them, you could end up overpaying, missing out on a better opportunity, or making a decision that doesn't fit your lifestyle. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 biggest things you need to understand before buying new construction here, so you can make a smarter move. If you're planning to buy a new construction home in Covington or anywhere in Newton County in the next 3 to 6 months, this is going to give you a much clearer picture of what to expect and what to watch out for. The first thing you need to understand is that Covington is not just one market. Where you buy within Newton County will have a major impact on your day-to-day lifestyle. On the western side of the county, closest to Atlanta, primarily off the Salem Road corridor on I-20, you're going to find the majority of entry-level new construction. This area is really an extension of the Conyers and Metro Atlanta commuter markets. Most of the homes here are built by national and regional builders, names you know like D.R. Horton, Rockland Homes, and Direct Residential. You'll typically see townhomes and single-family homes in the 1,800 to 2,500 square foot range, with smaller, more manageable yards. The focus here is affordability and access to the housing market. This is where buyers are prioritizing getting into a home at a price point that works and commuting into Atlanta. Now, one important thing to understand is that even though this area is geographically closer to Atlanta, that doesn't always translate into a shorter commute right now. The Salem Road corridor is currently undergoing a major improvement project that's expected to take a couple of years to complete. So in the short term, commute times from this area can actually be very similar to homes located further east, closer to Covington. Over time, that will improve, but it's something you need to factor into your decision today. Now, if you move further east in the county, closer to downtown Covington, you're still going to find suburban-style construction communities, but the lifestyle starts to shift. You'll have better access to the Covington Square, more local restaurants, shops, and events. And with a full range of retail options, you will not need to drive back towards Conyers for your daily needs. So really, this decision comes down to lifestyle. If you want a commuter-focused, affordability-driven option, the west side makes a lot of sense. If you want more of that small town feel with access to a true downtown environment, then being closer to Covington itself is probably the better fit. The second big area where buyers get tripped up is understanding how builder incentives actually work. A lot of people assume that new construction homes are more expensive than resale homes, but that's not always the case. Right now, many builders are offering significant incentives to make homes more affordable on a monthly basis. That can include things like interest rate buydowns, seller-paid closing costs, and even extras like appliances, blinds, or other move-in perks. In many cases, your monthly payment on a new construction home can actually be lower than a comparable resale home. But here's what most buyers don't realize. Those incentives are not transparent. You're seeing the end result, but you're not seeing what it costs to get there. A good way to think about this is like buying a car. If a dealership is offering special financing like no interest for a year, then you're usually paying full price for everything else. The same concept applies here with homes. If a builder is offering something like an interest rate buydown, a significant portion of that home's price, sometimes as much as 10%, is being used to subsidize that low payment. So yes, your payment may be lower, but you may also be getting less actual value in the home itself. For some buyers, that trade-off makes sense, but it's important to understand what you're actually getting. Another key point is that most of these incentives are tied to using the builder's preferred lender. That's how they control the financial side of the deal. If you don't understand how that impacts your numbers, it's very easy to leave money on the table or assume you're getting a better deal than you actually are. Once you get past the financial side, most of these communities are fairly similar in terms of pricing and positioning. At that point, your decision really comes down to floor plans and features, how the layout fits your lifestyle, whether you prioritize outdoor space or interior space, and how the home functions for you day to day. The third major factor is timing, and this is where a lot of buyers lose opportunities. Most of the best builder incentives are tied to homes that need to close quickly. In many cases, that means a 30 to 45 day closing timeline. So if you're not prepared to move quickly, you could miss out on these opportunities. One of the biggest mistakes I see buyers make is starting their home search before they're fully ready. If you find the right home, but you're not pre-approved or you're not ready to move forward, that deal can disappear very quickly. Before you even start looking, you should already have a pre-approval in place and your financial documents ready to go. And you should be prepared for the fact that you may need to apply with a second lender if you want to take advantage of the builder incentives. Now, inventory also changes depending on your price point. If you're shopping under $450,000 or so, there's generally a good amount of inventory available. You're mostly choosing from homes that are already built or close to completion, and there's not a huge difference from one community to the next. Expert knowledge of all the different builders and the floor plans can significantly reduce the time it takes you to find the right home though. But once you get above that price point, things change significantly. There are very few builders actively building higher end new construction in this area. You're often dealing with limited inventory, scattered lots, or smaller builders that are working on individual projects rather than on full neighborhoods. In many cases, you may need to build from scratch, and that can take anywhere from 6 months to a year, depending on the builder and the availability of land. And here's something most buyers don't realize. Many of these opportunities won't even show up in a typical online search. They may not be listed yet, or the builder may not have inventory that's ready to market to the public. So if you're in that price range, that higher price range, it becomes even more important to work with someone who knows what's happening behind the scenes. The last thing we need to talk about is protecting yourself during the process. Just because a home is new doesn't mean it's perfect. Before you go under contract, you need to make sure the builder allows a private inspection. Any builder that won't allow that is a red flag. If they're not confident enough in their process to let a third-party inspector review the home, that's something you should take seriously. Now, separate from that, you'll also have a walkthrough with the builder prior to closing. This is where you create what's called a punch list, a list of items that need to be corrected before you take ownership. This is your last real opportunity to make sure everything is right. A lot of buyers make the mistake of focusing too much on cosmetic items, paint touch-ups, small drywall issues, and they miss the things that really matter. You should be paying close attention to how the home functions. Make sure the windows open and close properly. Check that cabinet doors and drawers operate smoothly. Look for scratches in tubs and countertops, because those are things that typically won't be covered after you move in. And remember to keep your own list of items the builder agrees to correct. You want to be crystal clear that everything the builder agrees to fix is on everyone's written list. Your private inspection is there to catch the things you can't see, and your walkthrough is there to make sure everything you can see is working the way it should. You're going to need both. At the end of the day, buying new construction in Covington can be a fantastic option, especially for first-time homebuyers. You're getting a newer home, no immediate maintenance concerns, and more predictable cost in those first few years of ownership. I've spent over 30 years working in and around new construction, including representing builders directly. I truly believe in the product and the process, but I also see the same mistakes happen over and over again, and the goal here is to help you avoid those. If you're thinking about buying new construction in Covington or anywhere in Newton County, my team and I help buyers navigate this process every single day. We help you understand the numbers, evaluate your options, and make sure you're getting the right home, not just the most convenient one. So if you're planning a move and want to do it the right way, feel free to reach out. We'd love to help.